Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Ha, Rakah, Kodash, Ma. Double honors to the elder apostles of GMS and their elders. Double honors to my elder, Aharawan Ban Yasharala of the Lion's Den camp here in Jacksonville, Florida. Salutations to the Sinciakium pushing his truth and sincerity around the four corners of this earth. I'm Nakar Harab Ban Yasharala, coming out of the Lion's Den camp of Yasharala here in Jacksonville, Florida. Today I'll be coming out with a little short lesson. The title of it is "The Lord Shall Draw Thee to War," and that's what the Lord is going to do with all these nations. He's going to draw them into a war, and right now the Lord has them poking the proverbial bear per se, meaning according to the scriptures, Russia is that bear, and how are they poking the bear? They're poking the bear what by mobilizing and threatening Moscow, Russia's security. They're setting up we'll say garrisons around you know the Ukrainian border and all that stuff, and that ain't doing nothing but compromising the security or the well being of Russia. And Putin sees this, and he's taking it as they're jabbing at him, and that's really what's going on. And how are they jabbing at Russia? By imposing all these sanctions and all these restrictive measures to keep Russia out of Ukraine. But according to the scriptures, the Lord is going to put hooks back in their jaws and turn Russia back into the USSR, the Soviet Union. But without further ado, I'm going to play a little excerpt of this video, then I'm going to get some scriptures.
The international community is stepping up diplomatic efforts to defuse the crisis over Ukraine. The U.S. and Britain are threatening to impose tough new sanctions if Russia invades the country. U.S. Secretary of State Antony Blinken has reinforced Washington's support for Kyiv. Russian President Vladimir Putin, he has hit back today in his first remarks on the crisis in more than a month. He's accusing the West of ignoring Moscow's concerns about security, its own security in the region.
Okay, now you heard what he said. He says he's accusing the West, i.e., America, of ignoring security concerns of Moscow, Russia. Well, let's get a precept real quick. This is Psalms chapter 10, verse 5. His ways are always grievous. Thy judgments are far above out of his sight. As for all his enemies, he puffeth at them. And that's how Esau gets down. His ways are always grievous, always restrictive, always debilitating, and detrimental to something or someone. And the judgments of Yahweh Bahashim Yahushua are far above Esau's sight. He want to team up with Germany and the Ukraine and the UK to try and make an attempt at having a peaceful resolve to this inevitable impending conflict. So the fact that they're threatening to impose sanctions on Russia is them poking the proverbial bear. They're poking Russia, and eventually you poke a bear long enough, that bear is going to get up and it's going to attack. And when it attacks, nothing is going to stop that bear from ripping whatever it is to shreds.
With the flags of his allies on proud display, Ukraine's president announced a huge addition to his nation's army. We will create a new political cooperation format in Europe between Ukraine, Great Britain, and Poland. Within the next 3 years, we will increase the number of the Ukrainian armed forces to 100,000 professional soldiers. British Prime Minister Boris Johnson flew to Kiev to meet with Zelensky. In a press conference afterwards, Johnson appealed for a diplomatic solution to the crisis.
As you see, he appealed for a diplomatic conclusion to the crisis or this conflict. This is 1 Thessalonians chapter 5, Verse 3. For when they shall say peace and safety, then sudden destruction cometh upon them, as travail upon a woman with child, and they shall not escape. So while they trying to do all these peace talks and have a peaceful resolution, when they think they have achieved what they are trying to do, then sudden destruction is gonna come. This third woe, this third war, it's gonna come and it's gonna happen. Let's continue.
Russian invasion of Ukraine would be a political disaster, a humanitarian disaster. In my view, it would also be, for Russia, for the world, a military disaster as well. And the potential invasion completely flies in the face of President Putin's claims to be acting in the interests of the Ukrainian people.
Speaking from Moscow, Russian President Vladimir Putin accused Ukraine's NATO allies of exploiting the crisis for their own benefit. Their most important goal is to contain Russia. That's the thing. In this sense, Ukraine itself is just a tool to achieve this goal. This can be done in different ways. One of them is to draw us into armed conflict.
All right. So basically, Putin knows what's going on, and he knows that the U.S., the U.K., Germany are using mainly the U.S. and the U.K. They're using Ukraine to try and provoke Russia into an armed conflict, and Putin knows this. But this is all prophecy. This is something that's inevitable, and it will happen. This is Joel chapter 3. I'm going to just start right at verse 2. It says, I will gather all the nations and bring them down into the valley of Jehoshaphat, and will plead with them there for my people and for my heritage Israel, whom they have scattered among the nations and parted my land. So the Lord is going to gather these nations and bring them down to the valley of Jehoshaphat, meaning the Lord is going to gather these nations and draw them into a war. And that's what the Lord is doing right now before our very eyes. And the Lord is going to do this, and he's going to plead with them, meaning the Lord is going to judge them in the valley of Jehoshaphat, or Yahweh Shaphat, the Lord's judgment. And he's going to he's going to do it for our people, for his people, I should say, which are the Israelites, the so-called Negroes, Latinos, and Native Americans, the whole nation of people in which these nations have scattered our people around the four corners of the earth and parted the land, divided up everything and took everything that we had. So the Lord is going to gather these nations together and force them to go to war. I'm going to jump down. This is verse 9. It says, proclaim ye this among the Gentiles, prepare war, wake up the mighty men. Let all the men of war draw near, let them come up. So proclaim ye this among the heathen, these other nations. Prepare war. And that's what Putin is doing. And that's what the Lord is making these other nations do as well. Prepare for war, to wake up the mighty men, get the soldiers in order, get everything lined up, get everything prepared, and let them come up. Let them be ready. Verse 10. Beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. So the Lord is going to gather these nations. It says, beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say, I am strong. These other nations, the weak of the nations, the Lord is going to draw them too, because they're now getting pretty much advanced technology to be able to compete and fight in this war. Verse 11. Assemble yourselves and come, all ye heathen, and gather yourselves together round about. Thither cause thy mighty ones to Salakia, thither cause thy mighty ones to come down, O Yahweh. So it says, assemble yourselves and come ye all ye heathen. Gather yourselves together round about, meaning mobilize, assemble, get ready, be prepared, get prepared. Come down, make ready yourselves. Get ready for war. That's what the Lord is saying. Cause your mighty ones to come down. Verse 12. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there I will sit to judgment. Salakia. Salakia, let me read that again. Let the heathen be wakened and come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, for there I for there will I sit to judge all the heathen round about. So it says, be let the heathen be wakened, meaning let these other nations come together. Because the Lord calls them heathens according to the scriptures. Come up to the valley of Jehoshaphat, the place of judgment, Yahweh Shaphat. And it says, for there, the Lord is going to judge these nations there in his judgment. He's going to sit to judge all the nation, the heathen round about. And when they're fighting this third world war, this third woe, Yahweh Shai gonna come. That's that mighty one from above. The mighty ones, he Yahweh Shai and the heavenly host, the mighty ones from above. And the Lord is gonna judge every last one of them nations there. All ye heathen gather round about. Get prepared and ready for war, because this war is gonna happen. No matter how peaceful or how democratic they want to reach a resolution to this thing, it ain't gonna happen. You finna go to war, and it's now being said that, the toppler of governments, everybody knows his initials is GS, the toppler of governments, he is now calling for Xi Jinping, the president of China, to step down. That's going to cause a problem too, and that's going to be an addition to this fire that the Lord has already got going on to cause this war to happen, to further the Lord's agenda. But let's jump down to 14. It says, multitudes, multitudes in the valley of decision, for the day of the Lord Yahweh is near. In the valley of decision, the valley of Jehoshaphat, the day of the Lord is near. The Lord gonna judge these heathen nations in the valley of Jehoshaphat, in his judgment seat, his place of judgment. So it ain't gonna be no more, ain't gonna be no peaceful resolutions to this thing. And Putin can see that, but you know what I'm saying? But things are happening the way they happen because the Lord is working right now. He's doing his thing. I got one more scripture. This is Ezekiel 38 and 10. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh, power, it shall also come to pass that the same time shall things come into thy mind, and thou shalt think an evil thought, and thou shalt say, I will go up to the land of unwalled villages. I will go to them that are at rest, that dwell safely, all of them dwelling without walls, having neither bars nor gate. So it's gonna get to a point to where they're gonna poke the bear enough, and the Lord's gonna put that evil thought in Putin's head, and those evil things are gonna come to his mind, and he's gonna turn, and he's gonna what? He gonna bust up America. He gonna bust up America's allies. He gonna say, let's go to the place of unwalled villages, which is America. That's that place of unwalled villages. You know, the people here are at rest. You know, they dwell safely in a place without walls, having no bars or no or gates, meaning this place don't have no protection. So the Lord is gonna draw thee to war, all ye heathens. Let me play a little bit more and then I'm gonna end it.
Russia continues to build up its forces in the region, even as diplomats from both sides are still trying to solve the crisis. Russian troops are set to hold military drills in Belarus this month, based from camps like this one, just a few miles from the Polish border.
So there you go. Shalom. This nation is getting ready, and Russia is going to get ready to go to war, as you can see. Shalom.